Humanity did not fall because it was weak. It was cast out because it was becoming unstoppable. For centuries, the Galactic Council had maintained control over the known galaxy, regulating technological growth, military expansion, and interstellar influence. Their power rested on stability, balance, and predictability. Humanity shattered all three. In a fraction of the time it took other species to evolve, humans industrialized entire star systems, revolutionized artificial intelligence, and built fleets capable of matching ancient empires. Their adaptability terrified the Council. Their speed unsettled every ruling species. Their ambition threatened a system designed to prevent any single civilization from ever rising too high. Publicly, the Council accused humanity of destabilizing galactic harmony. Privately, they feared replacement. Humanity was summoned before the full assembly. Evidence was presented, treaties referenced, warnings recited. Yet the verdict had already been determined. The Council could not control humanity, and so they chose to remove it. The sentence was exile beyond map space, into the void expanse, a region of gravitational chaos, radiation storms, and collapsing stars where no civilization had ever survived. It was not justice. It was erasure. Human fleets were forced to escort their own colonies toward the edge of known space. Entire worlds were abandoned. Trade networks collapsed overnight. Diplomatic channels were severed. Families were uprooted. Civilizations were dismantled. Behind them, the jump gates closed, sealing humanity inside an uncharted abyss. The Council labeled it mercy. In truth, it was a slow execution. The void greeted them with destruction. Gravitational tides tore ships apart. Radiation storms boiled atmospheres from habitats. Colonies disintegrated before they could stabilize. Millions died in the first decades. Entire settlements vanished into stellar storms, leaving nothing but scattered debris. Survival was no longer a struggle for comfort or progress. It became a battle against extinction itself. Despair spread quickly. Resources dwindled. Systems failed. Civilization teetered on collapse. But humanity did not surrender. Fear hardened into resolve. Grief transformed into fury. Survival instincts eclipsed every moral hesitation. Experimental technologies were activated without restraint. Artificial intelligence systems were freed from limitation. Genetic modification programs began. War research replaced civilian industry. Ethics were redefined by necessity. Every failure became data. Every loss became instruction. Humanity adapted, recalibrated, and rebuilt with ruthless efficiency. The void demanded transformation, and humanity answered. What remained of their former identity burned away, replaced by something colder, sharper, and infinitely more determined. Survival was no longer the goal. Evolution was. The galaxy had cast them into darkness, expecting silence. Instead, humanity began forging something the void itself would learn to fear. And deep within the uncharted abyss, far from observation, beyond mercy, beyond law, the foundation of a war civilization was laid. The void expanse offered no mercy. Every system was unstable, every star unpredictable, every moment lethal. Space itself twisted under violent gravitational currents. Radiation waves surged without warning. Rogue singularities drifted freely, swallowing entire fleets. Nothing could remain stationary for long. Survival demanded constant motion, relentless adaptation, and absolute efficiency. Human engineers abandoned planetary colonization entirely. Fixed worlds were liabilities. Instead, they constructed mobile megastructures, entire cities embedded within colossal starships capable of continuous relocation. These wandering habitats harvested energy directly from dying stars, siphoned exotic matter from collapsing systems, and recycled every fragment of debris into usable material. Nothing was wasted. Everything served survival. Artificial intelligence became the backbone of civilization. Freed from restriction, it calculated gravitational pathways through chaos, predicted stellar collapses, and coordinated resource extraction across light years. Human minds merged with machine cognition, amplifying perception, memory, and reaction time. Pilots navigated storms that would have shredded any organic nervous system. Commanders processed millions of battlefield scenarios simultaneously. Humanity no longer relied on instinct alone. They became precision incarnate. Biological evolution accelerated. Radiation-resistant genetic modifications reshaped human physiology. Musculoskeletal density increased. Neural pathways reinforced. Cellular regeneration enhanced. Over generations, humanity engineered itself into a species capable of enduring environments previously considered unsurvivable. Fragility vanished. Endurance became instinct. Civilian life ceased to exist. Every citizen became a survival asset. Children were trained in engineering, navigation, combat systems, and tactical reasoning from early development. Education focused on function, efficiency, and strategic awareness. Art transformed into psychological conditioning. Entertainment evolved into combat simulation. Recreation became preparation. Every aspect of life reinforced readiness. Humanity reorganized into a single operational structure. Independent colonies dissolved. Authority centralized. Resource distribution optimized. Production standardized. Entire populations functioned as synchronized components of a massive survival engine. Individual identity gave way to collective endurance. Conflict within the void refined humanity further. Scarcity bred competition. Rival fleets clashed over energy wells and resource-rich remnants. Each engagement eliminated inefficiency. Weak doctrines vanished. Ineffective designs were scrapped instantly. Victors absorbed technology, personnel, and data. War became evolution accelerated. From these crucibles emerged unity. Human civilization fused into a single strategic command, integrating fleets, habitats, factories, and intelligence networks into one coherent entity. Every decision optimized for survival and expansion. Every innovation designed for resilience and dominance. Massive starforges were constructed within collapsing suns. Entire planets were dismantled for raw material. Automated shipyards stretched across void systems, producing warships without pause. Artificial singularities powered reactors that exceeded galactic energy standards. Production became limitless. Humanity no longer struggled to survive. They were learning how to conquer their environment. The void expanse, once intended as their grave, became their proving ground. With every passing decade, their reach expanded. With every passing century, their power multiplied. They were no longer exiles. They were becoming something far more dangerous. Human doctrine evolved into a single, unyielding principle: dominance ensured survival. There would be no retreat, no compromise, and no imposed limits. Every structure, every fleet, and every technological breakthrough served one purpose: absolute strategic superiority. Mega shipyards expanded across light years, assembling vessels whose mass rivaled small moons. Their hulls were layered with adaptive armor that reconfigured itself in real time, shifting density and energy dispersion to counter any known weapon. Weapon systems evolved during combat, analyzing enemy behavior and rewriting targeting logic within seconds. Fleets operated as unified organisms, linked through quantum intelligence networks that synchronized movement, firepower, and defensive coordination with flawless precision. Human warships did not merely engage targets. They erased them. Strategic intelligence governed every decision. Predictive algorithms calculated billions of future scenarios, identifying optimal outcomes before conflict even began. Battles became mathematical certainties. Enemy fleets were destroyed before they fully understood they were under attack. Resistance collapsed under speed, accuracy, and overwhelming force. Industrial expansion matched military growth. Starforges burned within dying suns, extracting unimaginable energy. Entire planetary systems were dismantled for construction material. Automated factories reproduced endlessly, birthing fleets faster than any civilization could comprehend. Human production output eclipsed the combined industrial capacity of known space. Psychological evolution followed. Fear vanished. Hesitation disappeared. Uncertainty was engineered out of decision-making. Humanity became cold, deliberate, and relentless. Their culture no longer valued comfort, tradition, or preservation. It valued efficiency, readiness, and dominance. Emotional attachments yielded to strategic logic. Identity merged with purpose. History was rewritten. Children learned not of ancient homeworlds, but of survival trials. Not of loss, but of transformation. Not of peace, but of preparation. The exile became the founding myth of a new civilization forged in hostility and scarcity. Every generation grew stronger, faster, and more disciplined than the last. Humanity ceased to view itself as a species among others. They became a force. Time stretched into centuries. Then millennia. Their fleets multiplied in the darkness. Their infrastructure consumed entire star clusters. Their presence bent gravitational maps. Yet beyond the void, the galaxy remained unaware, locked in stagnation, convinced of humanity's extinction. Until anomalies began appearing at the void's boundary. Energy surges. Gravitational distortions. Stellar disruptions that defied explanation. Concern grew. A reconnaissance fleet was dispatched, tasked with confirming the absence of life and identifying the source of instability. The fleet crossed into the void. What they encountered shattered comprehension. Endless armadas drifted in disciplined formation. Starforges illuminated dead systems. Shipyards eclipsed constellations. Artificial suns powered constructs larger than planets. Humanity had not merely survived. They had transformed exile into industrialized supremacy. At the heart of this vast machinery waited a single formation, a fleet so immense that sensor arrays failed to calculate its size. And it was aimed outward. The Galactic Council's fleet halted in absolute silence. Before them stretched an armada so vast it erased the stars behind it. Every vessel radiated energy signatures capable of annihilating planetary systems. Defensive arrays pulsed with contained singularities. Weapon platforms aligned with flawless precision. No gaps. No weakness. No hesitation. A transmission cut through all channels. You cast us out to die. We adapted. We endured. We evolved. Now we return. There was no fury in the voice. No triumph. Only certainty. The Council attempted diplomacy. Emergency sessions convened. Apologies were issued. Legal revisions drafted. Reparations proposed. Offers of restored membership flooded communication channels. None were acknowledged. Humanity did not respond. They advanced. The first wave crossed into known space, and galactic defenses collapsed in minutes. Sensor networks were blinded. Energy grids were neutralized. Command relays were severed. Fleets were disabled before weapons could charge. Resistance ended before it could form. Human warfare did not overwhelm through chaos. It dismantled through precision. World after world surrendered without a single shot fired. Governments collapsed under psychological dominance alone. Entire civilizations capitulated upon witnessing the scale of human fleets. The balance of power evaporated overnight. Trade networks realigned. Borders dissolved. Empires ceased to exist. Humanity did not conquer through slaughter. They conquered through inevitability. Systems were secured. Infrastructure absorbed. Production nodes integrated. The galactic economy restructured itself around human industry. Military forces were dismantled and replaced with automated enforcement grids. Order was restored, but it was not the Council's order. It was something far colder and far more absolute. The Galactic Council's capital stood last. Surrounded by a formation that spanned the system, their final transmission echoed across every channel. They pleaded for mercy. They offered surrender. They invoked unity, cooperation, and shared survival. The response was brief. Your fear built us. Your judgment forged us. Your sentence perfected us. The capital's defenses collapsed in seconds. Control systems shut down. The council chamber went dark. Humanity assumed governance of the galaxy. Not as rulers. As inevitability. The species once condemned to extinction now dictated the fate of every star. Their exile became their ascension. Their punishment became their dominion. Their survival became conquest. Across thousands of worlds, a single truth spread. Humanity does not fade. Humanity does not break. Humanity adapts. And when adaptation is no longer enough, humanity conquers.